Hi, friends.
Hello. Happy Pride, everyone.
Happy Pride Month.
So
the 1 month a year.
Yeah, 1 month a year where Ren and I have something to admit.
Yeah, it's the only month where we get to be really obnoxious and also really self-centered and narcissistic, so...
And it's the only month we're allowed to talk about the fact that we're gay.
Yeah, so it's just really nice to finally be getting that.
Yeah. We know you all didn't know.
Yeah.
But...
I'm gonna turn these down just a little bit. Now, you might be asking yourself, man, I'd love to see the start screen. I would love to show it to you. Unfortunately, if I hit the start button, the game just starts.
It just starts. Gotcha.
It just starts. I accidentally opened the preferences menu, and now I cannot return to the home screen. So this is just where we're at.
Understood. Okay. Well, to preface what it is that we're playing...
really wish the name was up.
Yeah, as part of our, tradition for Pride Month, we play a bunch of little Pride games on Itch, made by indie devs. So this is Tethered, a queer rom-com in space by DLLOTT.
Yeah,
so
it looks like it was...
that's Diana Lott. And this is the team.
Yeah, it looks like it's...
Shout out to Kevin MacLeod, king of license-free music. He's a real one.
Yeah, he's really doing it up. So we've got Quinlan Stewart and Diana Lott to thank for most of this game, along with music contributions by several other folks. I'm really excited to play Tethered. It's supposed to be like a cool sci-fi lesbian romance. It's basically, it's like a novel. Not really.
I mean, it's made in Ren'Py, which is the visual novel, engine, so probably like that. Yeah.
So, I mean, it's going to probably be really similar to the dodgeball one we did last year, which was really fun. If you haven't watched, I think it was Splash? Might have been the name?
That sounds like the name.
I'll put a little video pop up when I jump in the video editor, but let's go ahead and get started. Space. The vast, all-encompassing void that stretches out into infinity.
The final frontier.
I'm getting kind of sick of it. I've had to have seen it 1,000 times out the window of the longest elevator ride in the world, and yet I always feel like I've forgotten to pack something important. Do you want to be...
I think this
maybe
probably...
this is still me.
Yeah, the narrator, yeah.
Toothbrush? Check. Deodorant? Not making that mistake again. Extra roll of my preferred brand of toilet paper? Who could forget that? Something is always missing.
Rah!
Aww. Nope, screaming is not what was missing. There was a tiny girl in front of me in line, kicking at the baggage checking machine.
What do you mean no animals allowed on board? What animal are you talking about?
As the signs state, no animals of any breed or state are permitted to board.
It's a stuffed cat.
Taxidermy is also not permitted, nor ashes.
It's not real.
I'm sorry, I don't understand your query. Would you like me to direct you to customer service?
I'd like to get on board.
As the signs state, no animals. This girl is really making a scene. If I don't do something, we could be here all day. Excuse me, is there a problem here?
This stupid thing thinks my stuffed animal is a real cat.
I've been there before. These machines once mistook my travel blanket for a water bottle over 12 ounces. But isn't this girl a little too 20-something to be carrying around a stuffed toy? And I assume there's no possibility you could leave it behind?
I'd rather die. Respect.
I suppose that's fair. Here, let me see the cat.
Okay, now 50-50, is it a real cat or is it a stuffed cat?
Great question. I think it's gonna be a stuffed, animal cat.
Okay, I'll bet it's a real cat, actually.
Okay, alright. Oh god.
What are you gonna do with Wolfland Markmalot?
You just have to push it through the machine by itself. Trust me on this. Extra bag detected. An extra fee will be charged to your account. Thank you for your cooperation. See, there's a logical solution to everything.
Yeah, but that solution comes with a cost, and this trip is already...
Save it. I'll pay it.
You're a goddess.
Thanks? You're a great voice actor, Louisa, but something about that voice line in particular.
Yeah, I didn't know. The little sheepish, I don't know, yeah.
Like, it takes a special breed.
Yeah. Thanks. Oh, what's your name?
B.
B? That's a really cute name.
It's, B? Actually, okay, I don't know.
Yeah, is it Bia?
I don't. I'm just gonna keep saying B.
I'm guessing it is B, actually, yeah. And that's the joke.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
It's okay. People spell it wrong all the time.
How did you know what I... Okay.
Okay. She looked startled, but she didn't ask any more questions. With that out of the way, I could focus on my job, meeting my asshole boss up at the space station to do whatever stupid things he asks of me.
Now, Ren, you can't see my face, but I'm moving and grooving to this tune.
It's a good tune. It's a good little bop.
Kevin MacLeod, always there.
He's there for us. Seriously, who needs to take their secretary to space? There are things I could do more effectively at the office. If you ever went to the office these days. All I need to do now is find my room and wait out the 5 boring days up. There won't be much to do. I wonder how far I can get through my book, A Stable Relationship. It's absolute trash, but I can't get enough of it.
Is that a horse
It's gotta be a horse. Yeah, it's gotta be some weird fucked up centaur, horse girl, something. Menina and Guinevere were just meeting up for their late night rendezvous on the ranch.
Yeah, okay.
The 3rd night in a row. They feared someone was following them and why was this girl following me? Hello? Can I help you?
Oh, it's you. Hey, it looks like we're neighbors.
Yeah, cool.
I'm Nova. It's nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you. Well, that will have little bearing on me. I plan to make some real progress reading. The room is small, but serviceable. To fit a lot of people on this elevator, I guess the rooms have to be compact. Bed with white sheets, a side table and lamp, a bathroom, a closet, all pretty standard. There's a pamphlet on the nightstand. Your adventures in space begin here! Really? Is there that much to do on the elevator besides look at space and order room service? Time to go through my routine. Set stuff down, hang up shirts in the closet, check the bathroom, always check the bathroom. And that's about it for me. I don't feel like going out this evening. I'll see how Menina and Guinevere are doing. I must have fallen asleep. The last thing I remember was Guinevere letting Menina touch the neck of her prized white stallion. That's what she said. Sometimes I wonder why I read this garbage. Listen, Ren, I am a huge advocate and supporter of good, trashy romance novels. They're so important to the ecosystem.
Respect.
Anyways, I need a cup of coffee. Not because I'm tired. Because coffee. Coffee isn't bad here. I wouldn't say it can redeem the hostesses and waiters in silver shiny disco outfits with the headbands that have planets bouncing wildly on springs, but there's a trick to it. Fill the cup halfway with coffee, then creamer, 2 pumps. Add 1 pump of the mocha flavoring they have on hand, then half a pump of...
Excuse me, darling. You gonna be much longer?
Fuck, my routine, no!
What was that, darling?
I'm sorry, I just like my coffee a specific way.
I know what you mean. The perfect coffee ratio is 1 to 5.
1 what?
Coffee.
1 coffee to 5 what?
5 squirts of that there salted caramel syrup, and fill the rest of the cup with whipped cream. Respect.
People gatekeep my drink choices. I don't think you're using this word the way you think it means. But I don't think this guy is even drinking it for the coffee at this point. I was
one of those Starbucks secret menu girlies.
But, like, using the word gatekeep in that context is not for sure. Grammatically. Anyway, I was wondering why the salted caramel was so low. I'll get out of your way. Just let me top off the rest of my cup.
No rush, no rush. I just saw you going for the salted caramel and I wanted to make sure you save some of that sweet syrup for me.
For the love of Jupiter, please never say that to anyone. Ever. Here you go. It's all yours.
Thank you, darling. Now come to Papa.
Great work, Louisa.
Thank you.
Okay, so that was absolutely terrible. And I didn't even get to finish making my coffee just right. This will have to do. I mean, what else was I supposed to do? Just not drink coffee? Yeah, right. Now, Louisa, I feel like we are two of a rare breed.
Neither of us are coffee people.
I don't like coffee. I don't think it tastes very good. Also, caffeine in general makes me want to die. So
now I do like caffeine, and I, as we've discussed on this channel many times, am mildly addicted to diet soda, but I'm not into coffee, and this does shock people because I feel like my vibe would work very well with me being like a black coffee, but unfortunately I do like things that taste good, and coffee's too bitter for me.
Yeah, like I have to do so much to the coffee to even mildly enjoy it, and then it feels bad in my stomach, it feels bad in my heart, like I just can't do it.
Yeah, no, I'm
just a water, thanks. The cafe is not all that big, and there isn't always open seating. The thing is, I don't like sharing. So I usually go to my room and just leave the cup outside the door. The thing is, I usually come back for a second or third cup. Even still, I guess the walk is better than human interaction. I'll just go to the door and
Yoo-hoo, over here! Don't know who this is.
She's probably not talking to me.
You young lady in the black and yellow.
Venus, damn it.
I saw you looking for a table.
Oh, actually, I was...
I have a chair open. You can come sit with me.
You are very kind, but I was just gonna go to my room.
Oh, come now. I really don't mind. You need the seat, and I wouldn't mind the company.
Okay.
Say, isn't it romantic up here?
Not particularly.
It's like an eternal night sky, forever twinkling lights, lonely, shining through the inky blackness. I hope to one day gaze longingly at my true love, the stars reflecting in his piercing eyes.
That's very poetic.
Why, thank you. I do dabble in the arts from time to time.
This woman could write the next stable relationship book. Perhaps a spin-off series. Have you ever thought of writing a book? I'm sure the world is lacking in space rom-com style literature, seeing we've entered into the third space race. Commercializing the moon and all that, you know?
Oh, but I already have my hands full with my current lesbian horse-themed romance series.
Wow.
I'm sorry, you're what?
Incredible.
Uh-huh.
It's called A Stable Relationship. I'm sure you wouldn't have heard of it. It's one of my lesser-known works. More of a passion project, really.
She's Fable Lexington? Yeah, so I have a meeting in a couple minutes in my room, so I do have to go.
Oh? Well, that's too bad. A young lady like yourself shouldn't be bogged down with work. You are in space. Enjoy yourself. Maybe you can join me for breakfast tomorrow. I can tell you more about my writing.
Yeah, I could. I made my non-committal escape back towards the staircase, carefully holding my cup of coffee. Upon going down the stairs to my floor, I could hear a heated argument. Unfortunately, because there were only 2 rooms to a floor in the pod, I would no doubt run into the conversationalists trying to get into my room. I saw Nova, and some person with distinctly 2010s fashion style. Nova was waving her hands in exclamation. I tried to sneak past them without detection.
Are you kidding? Scientifically accurate? I enjoyed the movie, but the whole power of love thing did not belong in a hard sci-fi space movie.
That was clearly allegorical. Christoph Dolan is a genius. He clearly knows what he's doing.
The ice clouds were impossible, the robot's design was impractical, the blight was unrealistic.
That stuff doesn't matter, you're just nitpicking.
No, but don't be a CinemaSins girly.
So you admit it. Scientific or historical accuracy is not the most important thing in a movie. Oh, okay, never mind.
What just happened? I didn't understand any of that, and I still wouldn't even if I was purposefully eavesdropping, which I wasn't. Nova seemed to beam victoriously when she noticed me, of course.
You agree with me, don't ya?
On what?
On the scientific accuracy of Intergalactic.
So we're just discussing Interstellar.
That's a movie about space, right? Is that the one where the guy grows tubers on Mars with human manure? So
that's The Martian, yeah.
Now that's the other one.
Oh, I'm not very well versed in science fiction.
Side note, I, Louisa, have been watching Battlestar Galactica recently, and it's pretty good. I'm not as into it as I wanted to be. It's generally a good time, though, but there is one character who I'm just, like, she's so laser targeted to be my gender goals that I'm, like, obsessed with her, Lieutenant Starbuck.
Oh.
Are you free on Thursday?
Are you free on Thursday, Lieutenant Starbuck? You sent me a picture of this woman, and
like, built in a lab to be...
Yes.
For me.
For me and all lesbians.
Yeah.
Well, you have to be interested in something.
Is she trying to get me to talk about myself? Reading.
Ooh, what kind of stuff do you read?
Oh, this is actual footage of me, Ren, avoiding admitting to my reverse harem romance novel obsession.
Right now, I'm reading this book about the Apollo missions. There is actually tons of details in there that a lot of people don't know about, because media doesn't mention it a lot.
Is space really all she talks about?
I mean, she's got a discount NASA shirt, so...
You're perfectly at home here, huh?
You think so?
I think it suits you. Everything about getting a job, working at the station, I mean?
Well, I happened to be on this elevator trip for my second phase interview up there.
Oh, congrats, girlie.
Oh.
Good luck.
Oh, that's great.
Yep, maybe I'll be able to pay off that engineering college loan debt.
I'm so glad that in this mystical future where we are in a third space race and have colonized the moon, which are already horrible items, I'm so glad that there's still college loan debt.
For sure.
Let's go realism. I think it's pretty cool to be passionate about something and actually chase your dreams to work on it. Well, best of luck to you.
Thanks. Oh, since you saved me back when we were boarding, I thought I might treat you sometime, like, while we're on the elevator?
Oh, you don't have to.
Maybe dinner?
Maybe.
Day after tomorrow?
Is she asking me on a date? Do I want to go on a date? I mean, she is pretty cute. Sure, I'm free then.
Great.
I wasn't expecting much from this trip. All of my previous experiences up till now were uneventful. I'd almost gotten used to monotony. I couldn't help but think of Fable's outlandish magical idea of a trip to space that changes your life. I then dismissed the idea. Things like that don't happen. Another day, another coffee. No more narrating. Coffee. This time I ended up behind Cowboy Guy. True to his word, I watched him put a pitiful amount of coffee into his cup, followed by an obscene amount of salted caramel syrup. The attendant behind the desk looked annoyed at him from a distance.
Howdy, I never quite caught your name, miss.
B.
I'm Flint. Flint Westerson.
His name is Flint Westerson? It's nice to meet you, Flint. He tips his hat to me.
Likewise, B.
Actually, it's... Never mind.
I've decided this is a good gag.
Anyways, did you ever try my coffee suggestion? You know, the golden ratio.
I have to admit, I did not.
Well, to each their own, miss.
Aw, crap. The awkward silence dictates I have to keep up the small talk. So, what do you do for work? Nice.
Oh, me? I'm in the business of wrangling spreadsheets and crunching numbers.
You're an accountant?
I'm an accountant.
So what's with the getup?
I figured even a humble old man like me needs some perspective sometimes. What better perspective can you get from space?
Perspective on what?
In fact, I haven't left the loading bay except to eat. You know they have that huge porthole you can look down at Earth. Have you seen it?
I saw it before we left Earth when we first got on.
I highly recommend you take a look. Now, if you'll excuse me, that window to perspective is calling my name.
Alright, I will see you around. What? Now it's me making arrangements to hang out with other people. I grab my coffee, carefully following my own recipe. I can hear someone behind me grumbling and cursing something. Stupid thing. It sounds like the guy from yesterday. I can hear him smack something solid with the palm of his hand. I can't help but peek at what he's doing. Over by the ordering counter, there's a screen set into the wall, out of the way. It's a transmitter. It was described to me on my first time aboard that it was a public phone booth kind of deal. You could make calls back to Earth. As the guy was smacking the screen now, nothing appeared on it. Come on, please work. Everything okay over there? I promised I'd call my little sister, but this damn thing won't work. Let me see. I've made plenty of calls in the elevator before. Maybe he wasn't working it quite right. I tried turning it on, fiddling with the buttons, but nothing worked. Maybe it really was broken. Huh. She's gonna be upset. I watched him keep trying for a minute, a slow thought forming. I wonder if someone traveling with us could fix it. My thoughts immediately landed on Nova. She said she was an engineer. Engineers fix things, right?
Really depends on the kind of engineer, but sure, yeah.
You want to make a good impression for your interview?
Absolutely.
Nerd guy here needs your help. The transmitter in the cafe is down. Do you think you could fix it?
Oh, you mean Jaden? He's kind of annoying. But yeah, I could try. Let me go take a look at it.
Nova and I returned to the cafe where Jaden had all but given up fiddling with machine. Nova walked straight up to it.
Move, nerd.
Ignoring Jaden's offense, Nova started checking the machine. She tried some of the common things I had already tried, like turning it off and on again. The screen still remained blank. She ran her hands over the machine until she found a hatch she could open. The attendant at the counter looked like she should say something to the tiny girl now defacing property, but then shrugged a not my problem shrug.
So real.
Okay, I think I might know what the problem is, but I'm gonna need some stuff.
Like?
A bobby pin, a battery, and a coin.
That's random and yet oddly specific. What should I go looking for? First video game moment!
Woo!
Gaming moment!
Gaming!
What should we do first, Louisa?
Well, you know, when it comes down to what we should do first, I think it's a coin toss, so let's go with the coin.
Okay. Now, who would have a coin?
I used all mine up on a gotcha machine. Now...
Do you have a coin, Jaden? I spent all my coins on Mountain Fizz.
Real.
Well, I don't carry cash. I guess I'll ask Fable. Luckily, she came in a few minutes ago for her morning stargazing. Good morning, Miss Lexington.
B, please call me Fable.
You don't happen to have any spare change, do you?
Oh, how much do you need?
Hold on. Hey, Nova, which coin do you need? Oh, sorry. I clicked too fast.
Big one.
Just a quarter, or the biggest one you have.
All right, but it's going to cost you. I have a note I need delivered. Have you met Flint yet? He tends to wear a handsome vintage Stetson around.
Oh, the cowboy. I mean, the accountant?
Yes, bring this note to him. And for dramatic purposes, don't tell him it's from me.
I so support this woman getting, like, this horse girl romance author getting her cowboy freak on in this space elevator.
Real.
Good for her. At this point, I have no right to question anything. If he's not getting coffee, he's in the loading bay. Excuse me, Flint?
Oh, B, it's good to see you again. Have you seen the view from up here? It's...
Anyways, I have a message for you.
Oh?
He takes the note from my hand and reads it.
Mumble, mumble, meet at when the clock strikes, around this time of year, that's high noon.
Okay, you can give us your better, like, Matthew Mercer impression.
It's
Louise.
high noon.
Perfect.
Why, anyone would know if you challenge a man in a Stetson to meet at high noon, they're bound to have a duel. Whatever rapscallion dare challenge me, they're in for a rumble. B, stay in your room at high noon tomorrow. There are some things a young lady shouldn't have to see.
Gotcha. I returned to the cafe and to Fable. He got the message.
Yay, thank you so much. You have no idea of the romance you've started.
I'm not sure what I've started.
Here's your quarter. You've earned it.
I thank her for the coin and bring it back to Nova. What should I go looking for? Bobby pin or battery?
Bobby pin.
I think I have a bobby pin in my room.
Who still uses bobby pins?
Many people.
Do you have any in your hair right now?
Yes, but I don't want my hair to collapse.
If you've got, 20-something pins in your hair, I'm sure you wouldn't miss one.
There are 43 exactly, and yes, my hair would miss one. I went back down the stairs to my room. I checked in my toiletries bag only to find... Oh my god, B, come on! I knew I'd forgotten something. I always ended up forgetting to pack something. I'd forgotten spare bobby pins. I'm usually really good at my hairstyle and use the same number of pins every day, so I only ever end up needing more when they break or get lost. I must have forgotten to restock. I used all the pins that I had taken out the night before to sleep, so I had to hope that one was somewhere on the floor. The most sure place to find a bobby pin was on the floor. If I was a pin, where would I be? Under the bed? Nope. On the nightstand? Negative. Underneath the lip of the bathroom cabinet beneath the sink? No luck. No, it wouldn't be there. Well, may as well check. I bent down and dug into my spare pair of shoes that I left by the door. None in the left shoe and... Aha! In triumph, I pull a single lone bobby pin out of the right shoe.
Sure.
I took it back to the cafe, holding it upright in front of me with pride. Nova eyed me. I couldn't tell if she seemed annoyed or amused.
Took you a while.
Hey, I found one, didn't I?
You could have just taken one out of your hair.
You just want to see me with my hair down.
Maybe. What's it to you?
Alright, so now we've got the battery. And then we're gonna get that from Jaden. I just know it.
Probably. I bet Jaden has one for one of his games or something. It's almost like there are 3 NPCs.
It's almost as if.
Nova.
Alright, I'll ask him. Hey, Nova needs a battery to fix the transmitter. Oh, here. I have a spare. Jaden pulled a battery from his pocket and handed it to me. I guess he just keeps some on him? Thanks. Don't mention it. Well, that was easy. What's next?
You have everything?
Here you go.
Alright, I just put this here and twist this.
It was impressive to watch her work. Her hands looked like they moved almost on their own, with an admirable level of dexterity. In no time, she had the case back on. She hit the button and the screen glowed to life. Jaden seemed amazed. So it works now, right? I mean, only one way to find out. He started inputting some numbers. The screen reacted and I could hear ringing. After a few moments, the screen revealed a young girl, the spitting image of Jaden. Hey sis, check out where I am right now. Space! Isn't your older brother just the coolest? Here, you can do it.
Jaden, you're only in, like, the thermosphere. You're not gonna be in, like, actual space until tomorrow. And we already learned this stuff in science class, like, last week.
Why are you never amazed by all the cool things I do, sis? Jaden sounds like he was going to cry.
Oh. I did it! Oh my gosh, I did it! I can impress the interviewer now. They'll have to hire me.
With your enthusiasm and now this, I'm sure they will.
You've helped me twice now, so I really need to treat you.
Okay. You mentioned dinner. Does tomorrow still work?
Hell yeah.
I had to admit, Nova was really cool. She really showed her passion while fixing that transmitter. She was passionate about space, but other than that, I couldn't really tell anything about her. Her hair is unkempt, her clothes are quirky, and she's a cat stuffed animal in a spaceship-themed backpack. All of this, and I still had no idea who Nova was. This is what my mind kept coming to again and again as the day left and the night returned. The thoughts from yesterday continued to follow me around the day. It was biting into my stable relationship reading time, and I ended up going much longer than I'd planned to. When I went down for my afternoon coffee, politely trying to remember the name Nova had given her cat, I realized that Flint was not in his usual post by the self-serve coffee. He was seated in a booth at the cafe, but there was someone else with him. It was Fable Lexington.
And you were so cute when you did it.
What? This?
Flint tipped his hat to Fable. Fable squealed.
Yes, oh, it still makes my heart flutter. Is that how you got all the ladies?
It got you, didn't it? Did it work?
Fable squealed again. I silently linked out of the cafe and back to my room.
See, the problem with doing video is I know I just made a series of weird-ass faces while I was doing
I mean, I'm emoting quite a lot. You'll get to see it
all right.
in the YouTube vid.
We'll have to rewatch our own content, for sure.
When dinner rolled around, excitement began to build. Excitement on an elevator ride. Imagine that. Today, Nova knocked on my door just as I was finished repinning my hair. Hi, Nova. Wow, you are on time. That's nice. I like that.
So true.
Thank you. It doesn't happen often, so you'd better like it.
Good start. So, to the cafe?
To the food.
She's just so quirky. Have you noticed that, Louisa?
Yeah. Have you ever seen her without her purple hair? That's weird. Listen, as a person who once had purple hair,
I've also had purple hair, yeah.
Sometimes you just have to be quirky.
Being a quirky girl at some point in your queer journey is really essential.
You will have purple hair.
You will have purple hair. We went to the counter, choosing from the small but tasty selection on the menu. Once it had been heated and ready, we took a seat in a far left booth, next to the window that peered into space. When I sat down, I hardly noticed the pitch-dark window, but I did notice Nova peeking at it from time to time, like an antsy child. I couldn't help but smile. We started eating our food, and I noticed how quiet we were being. This made me realize that if this was a date, that was bad. Right? Silence on a date is bad. Nova looked just as unsure and nervous. She looked like she wanted to say something, but was unsure of what to say. Twice it looked like she would open her mouth to say something, but then would cover it up with eating a bite of food, chewing slowly, swallowing, and then repeat.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't really think I would get this far.
She just blurted it out. Huh?
I didn't think you would say yes.
Why is that?
I don't know. I tried being spectacular and it worked, and now I'm on a date.
and I don't really know what to do on dates.
Oh, what, you don't have any space-themed rom-coms to teach you about dating cliches?
Surprisingly, haven't come across any.
She was quiet again for a long moment. I was just about to try my own hand at small talk when she spoke up again.
So, where do you work?
Oh, I'm just a secretary. My boss is the CEO of a large entertainment enterprise. He's got a line of casinos, a couple of hotels, and some shares in a couple of theme parks. Things like that. Tons of that. I'm in charge of keeping track of all his paperwork, meetings, correspondences.
So, why are you on the elevator?
My boss loves space, too. He thinks that will be his biggest moneymaker yet. He's got tons of money in several space programs and is currently making friends with anyone he meets up on the station. Nova was watching me, a curious look on her face.
You don't have any interest in space? Like, at all?
Well, I mean, I never really thought about it all that much. I looked out the window, into the darkness. It was strange not seeing any point of horizon to anchor me. I travel up to the station for work, but I don't really think too much about it.
You are in space, surrounded by some of the coolest technological advances of our time. And you don't even notice it?
Her voice raised in absolute bafflement. No, I guess space isn't really my thing. It's cool, just not my thing.
So, what is your thing? Besides dressing up like a bee.
Hey, I like black and yellow together.
So are bugs your thing?
No,
Art? Fashion?
No.
Horses?
Wait, how did you...
Come on, you've got to be into something.
I thought for a minute. When I go home from my job as a secretary, I shower, eat, and sleep. In order to afford my apartment, where I purposefully live alone, I have to work a lot. So I work a lot as a secretary. Anything my boss gives me, I do. Phones, appointments, schedules, meetings, running to get lunch. Coffee runs, networking, social media posts and engagement, new business partner opportunities, conventions, and of course, personal assistants, aka eye candy. And when I wasn't working, if I had any free time once I got home, I would turn on movies. Didn't really watch them though, instead I surfed on job listing sites, looking for odd jobs to do. Nova was still looking at me. This time she almost looked concerned.
You really can't think of anything?
I guess working. Working is my thing.
And I gotta tell you, B, at this point on the date, I'd be like, all right,
yeah,
not really getting a second date, my man.
I can't stand.
I love when people love things.
I need people to have hobbies.
Like this.
I need my partner to have cool, fun hobbies that they like. I don't have to be into it, but they need to be into something.
I'm not picky about what it is. Have a thing. Have things you enjoy.
Like if your thing is like you really love playing like dominoes at the local.
I love that for you.
Right, like that's great. If you're into Warhammer figurines, sure, by all means, love a hobby. Yeah, this is rough.
Yeah. Boring. True. No wonder you don't have an interest in space or anything. You have to get some time away from work.
But...
do you even like your job? I bet you could do better.
I could. Get more money, you mean?
Oh, girl.
Oh, dear.
No, doofus. You could be doing something you actually enjoy. You gotta have something fun in your life that isn't work-related, or you're gonna turn into a sour old lady. And I'm gonna be the girl to do it. Nova's like, I can fix her.
I can fix her. I can make her better. Maybe lesbian sex will fix her.
Mm-hmm.
To do what exactly?
I'm going to get you to be fun.
Be fun?
Yeah. I don't want you wasting away your youth on work. In fact, how old are you?
I'm 24. Ouch!
Let's go, 24-year-old.
Let's go, 24!
Woo!
But I don't see why...
24?
Nova seemed to sway as if shocked into being faint.
Nova, how old are you, bestie? Oh, okay. You're a year younger than me?
It's not that big of a deal.
You are already, like, in the big-name companies. I'm only just now getting to my first real job. Being 24 is so wild like this, because everyone is in such a vastly different phase of life from each other. There's no congruency with 24-year-olds.
Yeah,
like,
it could be
everyone I know is doing different shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I got such a call out. I was watching some YouTube video or listening to some podcast. Anyway, some media or something or other was talking about, like, well, I mean, if you're having your quarter life crisis, you're just going to grad school. And I was like, ugh!
Yeah.
No,
sorry, bud.
They're right.
This is some serious shit. I need to get you started on the fun stuff ASAP. Okay, first off, we need to break out my movie collection, and then you need to tell me.
Hold on. You've asked a lot about me. Don't I get to ask some questions too?
Nope.
Nope.
I'm very mysterious and sexy. You're the mysterious, sexy bad girl type. You wouldn't want to ruin that mystique, right? Hey, what's so funny about that? Now I'm definitely not telling you.
Oh, come on, please. I made the most exaggerated begging face I could. Truly a noteworthy performance.
Okay, I'll tell you what.
What?
If you can defeat me at a trial of my choosing, you may learn my secrets, is what's what. You must answer my riddles 3.
Trial? Nova made a wiggly gesture with her fingers. Oh, so they're just gonna finger each other. I love that for them. The try. If you couldn't. I'm not saying that on YouTube. Okay, no, I will.
Oh?
If you can come on these fingers 3.
Sure. Okay, alright. That's what I was expecting. Cool.
Yeah.
A trial?
Nova refused to elaborate, but she paid for dinner and rushed me back to our floor. My face was starting to flush because I knew at that moment was a girl. All I knew at that moment was a girl who'd asked me on a date was now ushering me to her room. However, Nova had me wait in the hallway while she slipped past the door. The sliver of the room that I could see before the door closed was a mess. I heard shuffling from inside, more as if she was looking for something than tidying up. And then she returned holding a Slime Box 86 in her hand.
Da-da-da-da!
You mean a video game? I told you, I don't really play.
Which is why it makes a perfect trial, to protect my mysticism.
Mysticism?
Look, I'm running out of words. No more talky. Time to play. Minigame?
I really hope so.
Minigame?
Nova then sat on the ground, just in the middle of the hallway. She looked up at me, cradling the handheld game with one hand and patting the floor next to her with the other. I realized, were this any other place and time, if Nova was anyone else, there's no way I'd sit on the floor outside a hotel room like middle schoolers assigned to different rooms on an overnight field trip.
Honestly, I love hotel hallways. I don't know.
They're a good liminal space.
They're really fun.
They're a good liminal space.
Playing on like a Nintendo 64 in the hallway.
It's different.
Hotel,
it's different.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
This would be fun.
But what the hell? I squatted and sat on my ankles as opposed to Nova's crisscross applesauce. My pencil skirt wouldn't allow it. Even still, I managed to sit close enough to Nova to see the screen. Okay, so how is this going to work?
I'll go first. You have to beat my high score.
Like an arcade game? That doesn't seem fair.
You're smart. You'll pick it up.
I watched over Nova's shoulder. The screen was filled with moving shapes, and Nova expertly navigated her character through like she was guiding thread into the eye of a needle. Her goofy facial expressions belied a practical, surgical precision in her movements.
Okay, beat that score.
Really?
Yep.
I picked up the game, testing moving the character around, seeing how it felt in my hands. I took a shot at it. Somehow, it clicked into place, and with barely a thought, I guided my character through the fire on pure instinct, beating Nova's score just barely.
No way! You cheated!
I would never.
So, where do I start?
So, you're a rocket scientist.
Well, that term is kind of a misnomer. Science is more about the theory of how things work, expanding knowledge, whereas aerospace engineers are about applying that knowledge.
So you're an aerospace engineer.
That's what I got my degree in. For work, I'm more of a spacecraft mechanic than anything.
How did you get into that?
I've just always been obsessed with this stuff, you know? I think it really started with my parents taking me to see rocket launches when I was little. It just amazed me that we could just escape the planet, go to all the little lights in the sky.
It is kind of amazing to look at it that way.
Right? From then on, I just kind of learned everything I possibly could. Watched every movie with spaceships I could find, read every book. I even named myself Nova after the astronomical event.
You named yourself?
Well, my dead name didn't exactly suit me. Oh, yeah, I'm trans, by the way.
Trans win!
Woo!
Oh, cool.
Anyway, I got into college, got my degree, applied for a job, got rejected, applied for like 1,000 more jobs, got one call back, and here I am.
You're chasing your dreams. That's really cool.
Cool?
Yeah. Seeing her really passionate for getting a job, her optimism in getting one, made me start to wonder about the position I was in. Was I happy? Could I be happy if I had my own dream to follow? Okay, get on with it. Nova looked at me, startled.
Huh?
You promised me. Make me fun. Nova smiled an impish grin.
We start tomorrow, bright and early at 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock? In the afternoon?
The most fun people sleep in. True!
We hung out for a little longer, just small talk. I don't think I've ever enjoyed small talk as much as I did with her. Eventually, we had to turn in for bed. I considered inviting her to my room, but I didn't know if that would be overstepping my bounds. No, let them fuck. No, it's Pride Month.
I'm sure they will. We're just probably like in the midway point, you know?
I had a really good day, the best I've had in a while. I didn't expect that when I stepped onto this elevator. I went to bed, falling asleep quicker than normal. As it turns out, my early morning routine was so ingrained into me that I couldn't bring myself to stay in bed, let alone sleep later than 9. Yes, she's just like me for real!
I really am so sad because there was an era of my life where I could sleep till 2 p.m. Like, I could just get on that good teenager sketch. But now my body does wake me up at like 8:15.
You were up before me. You were up before me several times when we were visiting.
Yeah, and that's rough for me.
I'm sad. It's sad. It is sad because your vibe.
I know I'm meant to sleep till 2.
Your vibe is
I've
sleep
done
until
it
2
before,
early.
But it got scheduling work. It just made me. So I'm hoping with my new job, because it starts like an hour later than my previous job did, and it's 4 days a week, that my sleep schedule will adjust to be that of a teenage boy once more.
You know, the ultimate goal, the ultimate sign you're living it up.
I want a bad sleep schedule. It's right. It feels good.
Oh my god.
But let me be clear. I want like a normal bad sleep schedule.
Not an
Eli.
Eli.
Our friend Eli's sleep schedule.
Not an Eli sleep schedule. Shout out. Most fucked up sleep schedule you've ever seen.
Insane.
Bless his heart. Alright. Plus, I still needed coffee. But I waited, reading my book horizontally in an awkward position in bed until around 11, when my need for fuel became undeniable. When I finally made my way to the cafe, I was the only one there, since it was an in-between breakfast and lunch. Instead of returning to my room like a hermit, I decided to stay in the cafe until lunchtime to see who came in. Until then, I made an effort to look out the window. Maybe I really was too focused on work to look outside of myself. Maybe the vastness of space unsettled me, so I ended up turning inward. But I forced myself to look out the window. Somehow, I didn't feel like I saw very much. Just inky darkness and stars, and yet I feel like I was seeing so much. More than I ever had before. Maybe this was the perspective Flint was talking about.
There you are, darling. We were getting worried about you.
I turned away from the window where Flint and Fable were standing at my booth. Oh, hi, Flint. Fable.
Flint says you normally show up much earlier.
Yeah, but I've been trying to change things up.
Oh, I completely understand. I've been trying to shake things up too. That's the whole reason I came onto the elevator. And look what happened.
She held up her finger and on it sat an engagement ring.
Wow! Oh my god.
Was Flint just carrying that around? Was Fable carrying it around? Gross. I'm so happy for you both. I'm glad everything is going well.
Good for them. I'd hate to bother you and then leave so shortly, but I promised the little lady here a lunch date. I just wanted to check up on you.
Oh, no problem. I'm going to be having my own... I suppose it's a date. I'll be having one later, too. Fable leaned in really close.
Bless my stars, Bee. Did you really find the one?
Oh, well, I mean, I only just met her.
I knew it.
She leaned back, standing straight and proud.
I told you wonderful things can happen in space. They can happen anywhere. You just have to be open enough to seeing it and being.
She dug into her purse that I hadn't realized she'd been carrying beneath her fluffy coat. She pulled out a signed copy of the first book of A Stable Relationship.
I really think you might enjoy it. I know it's not for everyone, but I have a feeling you'd like it.
Lesbian. Targeted.
Incredible. Fable's really giving Hotchkiss energy.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
But I already own it.
But it's a signed copy.
Oh, yeah. Thanks. I'll give it a try. The two whisked each other off to the dinner counter, and I was left to finish my coffee, which was now cold. I almost had to laugh at myself. What a weird, wonderful trip.
What the hell is that?
I had no idea she walked up on me. She grabbed the book and sped read the back.
Oh my god. Oh my god. B, please tell me you read trashy romance novels.
I won't lie to you.
You do have a thing!
It's not my thing.
It can be one of your things.
Fine.
Ah!
Calm down. For someone who doesn't get up before 1, she sure has a lot of energy.
Yeah, I couldn't sleep. I was too excited to see you.
Can't she read my mind?
No, I can't read your mind. You just have a really easy face to read. Anyways, I made an itinerary. See, I can be organized like you.
She set down a spiral notebook covered in space-themed stickers, flipped open to a page where this itinerary was written. It looked more like a list of her favorite movies. Wait, are we just gonna watch...
Honestly, Nova and I, for sure. Same.
Wait, are we just gonna watch movies all day?
No. Now I'm making a motion for you to have a time slot discussing your horse romance.
So important.
So important.
She was trying to sound like the scribe during a meeting. Motion denied.
Motion denial vetoed. Wow, sounding like a secretary is cool.
That's not part of my job, but go on.
First order of business, movie time. Then we can wander around and see the one thing there is to see on this elevator. We can listen to some music.
There's not really much to do on this thing, is there?
Nope, but I like talking to you.
She's so earnest. I like talking to you too. We had this moment where we just sat there grinning at each other like idiots. It was nice. Nova, embarrassed, was quick to shake the moment off.
Alright, I'm gonna grab some food, and then I'm holding you hostage with Stuck on Mars.
And she did. She held me hostage all day long. We went up to her room, and we watched Stuck on Mars, Intergalactic, and 2002 in a row. She only...
My hot movie take is 2001: A Space Odyssey. It's a bad movie.
I don't like it either. I don't think it's very good.
Yeah. Alright, thank you.
It's so mid to me that, like, my main like relationship with it is that when me and Jody were living in Florida the summer between my freshman and sophomore year of college, there was a strip club shaped like the like spaceship and
the like obelisk.
Yes.
Or the spaceship. Great.
And so every time we drove past that strip club, like that's my main association with 2001: A Space Odyssey is that strip club in Florida. Shout out.
Great. No, I watched it for my like Cold War science fiction class.
Okay.
Honestly, one of my favorite classes I took.
It sounds bomb.
It's a really good one. We watched a lot of fun stuff.
Louisa,
2001 was not one of them.
Yeah. What I love about your film degree from Smith College, Louisa, is the names of your course titles are exactly what like angry Republicans think liberals are learning.
True.
In college.
This was technically, I think, in the it was not a film course, but it was like cross-listed with film because there was a film aspect. But it was a lot of like reading. I think it was like in English or something.
Yeah.
But we did like Stalker and oh my god, what was the really fun Russian teen one?
I don't know.
Anyways, good times.
After watching so many movies, I proposed to do some reading. We sat next to each other, each of us with a copy of A Stable Relationship. I tried to read, but to be honest, I spent most of the time reading off the page Nova was on so I could see which part she was up to and what her reaction was. She totally caught me doing it. In return, she demanded I do a dramatic reading of a passage. She didn't want to admit how much she liked it, so I loaned her my copy while keeping the signed one for myself. We ate dinner together, discussing the day's media intake. Afterwards, I surprised myself by being the one to suggest we stretch our legs and go down to the porthole in the floor of the loading bay, the one that looked down towards Earth.
I've seen this view before, but it still takes my breath away.
She stood hanging over the railing, the blue hue of the earth softly lighting her face.
Hey, view's down there, nerd.
I blushed, gazing down at the planet below. Being on the ground really doesn't give you a sense of the curvature, nor the scale of our home. But even then, it was just one object in a vast universe.
How are you feeling?
Is it weird that I feel more connected to Earth now that I'm away from it?
It's not weird at all. I totally get that.
I crossed my arms over the top of the safety bar, then rested my chin on them. I looked down at Earth. How had I lived there all my life? Nova and I stood there. For the past several hours, we had been talking, jabbing at movies and books, and learning about each other. Now it was quiet. We existed together. It was so much different from the silence I was previously accustomed to. Oh no. Oh no. Now.
You mean no?
Oh, yep, okay.
Oh, Pascal.
Great. The silence of avoiding human interaction, the silence of distance, the silence of self-imposed isolation. This was the silence of understanding another person. The silence of not needing to talk to fill up the space. Me and her. Here, together. I looked up at her. She was looking at me, and we both smiled. Pascal's a homophobe. Confirmed.
I mean, I don't hear him, so
okay.
You just... Yeah.
I'll have to cut that out, but as soon as, like, that cute moment happened, he just screamed at the top of his lungs.
Sir. I mean, he is straight.
Is he? He had a crush on my dad.
He is special. No, he didn't.
You're right. You're the only one he loves.
For sure.
It was the last day of my journey into space, and I was hit with the alien feeling of disappointment that it was ending. I knew that soon I would step off the elevator into the station platform, go to work, and say goodbye to Nova. And I was panicking, only a little bit. The thought of waving goodbye to her and never seeing her again put a pit in my stomach. Girl, phones exist. Email exists. I should ask for her number. Yeah, see?
Obviously.
Yes. Yeah. But what if that's overstepping?
Girl.
Did she see this as just a little fling to pass the time? A fleeting connection between people not meant to overstay its welcome? Maybe I should wait for her to ask. But there was no time to think about that, or rather, I literally couldn't unless I got some caffeine in my system ASAP. It almost felt nostalgic, walking the stairs to the cafe. I suddenly felt sad over the prospect that not only may I never meet up with Nova again, but I wouldn't see any of the others that chanced being on this trip with me. There he was, standing at the coffee bar, Flint the rootin' tootin' accountant. This time he had brought Fable to the counter with him. He was showing her how to make his signature drink. I was shocked they still had salted caramel in stock. Hi, Flint, Fable, good morning.
Bee, it's so good to see you. Are you excited to finally be getting to the station?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen all of it before.
You might just see it with new eyes after all that's happened.
She winked at me. Flint chuckled.
I know I was the one looking for perspective when I came up to space, but something tells me I'm not the only one who's found it. Hold on to that. It's really something special. I can see it in your eyes.
I had to resist the blush threatening to form on my face. Truth be told, I am gonna miss you both. I feel like this is the moment where I should tell you that I've learned something from you that has changed my view on everything, but I can't really explain what that would be if you did. Fable smiled and leaned forward in that excited way she did. She lowered her voice as if sharing a secret.
That's the thing, Bee. We hardly know anything. We hardly know what we've learned in life. We just feel it. We write books with convenient endings to tell people the things they should learn. Life is more complex than that. So are feelings. Sometimes you just have to go for it.
I wondered for a moment if she could read my mind and was giving me advice about talking to Nova, but I didn't say a word as she pulled away, and she didn't elaborate.
We are really going to miss you, Bee. You are an exceptional young woman.
Flint tipped his hat to me, an honored farewell from him.
If I ever should meet you again, I'll always remember you. And if we never do meet again, I'll never forget.
See ya, space cowboy.
As you must say,
Yeah,
that is
yeah.
correct. You had to say see a space cowboy there.
Correct. After they left, I tried to continue my usual routine, but I kept getting distracted and ended up with way too much caramel and cream in my cup. As I drank what tasted like molten grandma hard candy, I couldn't help but think of Flint's golden ratio. As I was drinking, another person came into the cafe. I hadn't run into Jaden here for breakfast before. He turned around and noticed me. Oh hey, thanks again for helping with the phone booth thing. I appreciate it. It's no problem. You should really be thanking Nova. I already have. I gave her my signed DVD copy of Intergalactic. Oh. She wanted it in the marketplace of ideas. I have to respect that. Oh, cool. Yeah, it is. Anyway, see ya. See ya. And with that, he ran off. There was only one person to say goodbye to. My heart sank and fluttered at the same time. It was a rather conflicted emotion. I knew there wouldn't be much chance of trying to talk to her until she was awake, and she did say that she tended to sleep in until early afternoon. So I waited and watched the void outside, which I now felt myself drawn to rather than distanced from. The more time that passed, the closer to our destination we became, and the more nervous I began to feel. More questions built up in my head, and I tried constantly to push them down. By the time I'd gotten to my third cup of coffee and started feeling jittery, I decided I needed to go do something other than wait around. I returned to my room, packed my stuff, made my bed, checked the drawers, checked the bathroom, always checked the bathroom. By the time I was finished, I could recognize that the elevator was starting to make the last several thousand feet to the station. I went to the loading bay to wait, and I noticed everyone else there, so each of them waved to me. Everyone except one. I started to wonder if I should go back and pound on her door when she came down the stairs, huffing and puffing as she tugged two huge luggage bags behind her. Did you pack your whole life in there?
Only the necessities, toiletries, pajamas, spare pajamas, a selection of outfits, miscellaneous stuffed animals, workout equipment, beanbag chair, beanbags, beans, bags.
And Wolf Lundmark Malote? She looked shocked.
You remember their name?
It's a difficult name to forget.
I forgot it, so
Yeah,
you're doing
me
better
too.
than me, girl. My parents can never get it right.
Here, do you want help with your bags and your beans?
I think I've got the beans in the bag.
Stop. Do you want my stupid help or not?
Yes, ma'am.
I grabbed one of her bags, not looking at her when our hands touched. I know, it was a cheap move, but I had to get this ball rolling. She had to ask me for my number. As the elevator pulled into the dock and the doors opened into the bustling station, we began to walk. When's your interview, by the way?
Oh, in like 10 minutes.
Didn't she schedule that a little close? Do you think you're ready?
Oh, I am absolutely terrified.
Then you're doing it right. As we were walking, Nova had been guiding me towards a wall of lockers where people could store their stuff for the day while they traversed the station. I stayed close as Nova unceremoniously shoved her bags into one locker. So, how's the weather up here?
Shut up, nerd.
So, you can...
Go first.
No, you.
No, you.
Oh, screw this. Can I...
Have your...
phone number? We both looked at each other like idiots, complete nervous idiots, and I realized she must have been just as nervous as I was to ask. I smiled and gave in to a blush. Here, swap phones? I took out my phone, unlocked it, and held it out to her. She did the same. I typed my name into her contacts, wondering if I should write myself in as something silly, but decided to play it straight. When I got my phone back, she had put her name as Cute Space Girl, heart, heart, heart. Alright, I won't keep you long. You do have an interview to go on. Sit up straight, make eye contact.
Shut up. Don't you have a boss to go babysit now or something?
Not technically my job, but also technically yes. We paused a moment longer, needing to leave but not wanting to. So much had happened in so little time. I almost couldn't bring myself to say, promise we'll see each other on Earth? Nova smiled.
I wouldn't miss it for the world.
She inched closer to me, wrapping her hands around my neck, her eyes looking into mine with an implied question. I leaned my head in ever so slightly. She pressed her lips against mine for a blissful instant that was gone as fast as I processed that it was happening. Oh, this is such a good art.
Yeah.
This is so cute. It was so casual, so natural you wouldn't think it was the first kiss we shared together. She separated herself from me with a wink, waving as she went on her way. I would be returning home a completely different person. Watching her walk away, I was sad that it would be a while before I saw her again. I felt uncertainty over when we would meet up, but I knew we would. Something told me she would keep her promise. For the time being, I would return to my boss, my job, but things were different now. Things didn't seem so one-dimensional. Time didn't seem so fleeting. The world seemed a lot larger. From now on, a part of me would always be tethered to her. Oh, here's the start screen.
Yay! Clap, 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 clap. Cute.
Big win for the gays.
That was
very cute. This is so fun because like you can just tell it's like these two friends who had like a big passion project and like worked really hard to like, write and do all the art. Like, I just love supporting smaller creators like this.
For sure.
And if you, dear watcher, enjoy supporting a smaller creator, perhaps even a queer one.
Oh yeah.
Smash that like or two. Perhaps if you enjoy supporting a queer passion project done by two friends, you can smash that like, smash that subscribe, tell a friend about the channel, leave a comment telling us what we should play next.
Yeah. Probably have some more little games.
For sure. Keep an eye on the channel as we do some more like little Pride Month one-offs, and then we're probably gonna start a longer campaign again soon.
All right. Well, thanks for hanging. Ollie, bye-bye, y'all.
Ollie, bye-bye.